What is going on, guys? Rewinds here, and in this video I'm going to be bringing you my review for Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Manga chapter number 3. This chapter had some pretty eventful spoilers, if I say so myself, and it definitely got me excited to check out the official version. I did, and I can definitely say that I was not disappointed. So we did kick things off with, of course, the cover. I did talk about that in my spoiler videos too. I'm a big fan of the cover. I thought it was cool that Himawari got one, and I just liked how the background meshed well with her current design, so I thought it was pretty cool. But as for the actual chapter itself, I just really like how things started off with how, we just went straight into where last chapter ended rather than, diverting into something else. Like, let's say Shikamaru starting the chapter or something like that. We just went straight into Boruto just approaching Code and, this Rasengan about to hit him. And Code just wondering, like, what is this Rasengan Uzuhiko, right? And then it was, in Code's character, of course, to try using his claw marks to attack Boruto. And Boruto here just responds to this by just dodging it with ease, like no trouble at all. And Code went as far as to even try restraining Boruto, and even at that time, he's pretty much saying like, oh, you can't hit me now if I got you restrained, but Boruto didn't look worried at all. And this is, some cool stuff, because I really like the confidence he's showing here, the confidence he has in his power. And I know some people aren't going to be like super happy that are, I guess, wanting Code to do a little better, but I'm sure a lot of people are hyped to see what Boruto's doing though. Code though, I don't know what to say. I mean, Code's been a walking L at this point for quite some time. Everybody's been saying, oh, he's going to get his get back, he's going to do this, he's going to do that, but honestly, I don't know. It's not really looking too great for him, I'm not going to lie. So pretty much Code is, trying to gloat a little bit now, saying, oh, your attack's futile if it doesn't hit. But Boruto's, just staying serious at this whole time, and he's just saying, like, again, he just mentions again, it's easy to kill Code, and then he says right then that it's also half done. And right as he says that Rasengan wraps around Code. And Boruto's pretty much giving him this one final warning, saying that Code's gonna die here if he doesn't take him to the Ten Tails now. And at this point of the story, Boruto's given him a few warnings, it feels like, but you can tell he's serious to an extent, of course, that he is going to kill Code if he doesn't take him to the Ten Tails, but you can also tell how important it is to Boruto to get to the Ten Tails. Code just gets mad at this, comment by him, and he charges at him. And, what's crazy to me is that Boruto's been doing all of this without his karma. So he's doing this with no power up. That's pretty insane. And, he's, dodging him with ease and everything like that. And he ended up popping up right behind Code, and he hit him with this new Rasengan. We got like 2 or 3 views of that. Great panels. I just enjoyed the art overall in this chapter so much compared to what we've gotten in the past. I just feel like it's an improvement. Of course, it's not anything like, outstanding per se compared to some other series that have really great art, but for what Boruto's been giving us, this is definitely a step up, and I'm happy to see that. So, Code's still kind of on his feet, but he's kind of like hunched over now, so you know that he took some damage. And that's when we first get our like first little cut over to some other people. We actually get Ida and Damon talking about it. Ida says this technique is simple, and Damon says that the shaking of the planet is actually happening from Boruto, and that this Rasengan that Boruto has is using the planet's rotation. And that's our first explanation at this. And then we cut back over to Boruto. I also want to say I do like Ida and Damon make an appearance. I like seeing other characters involved. I like seeing them even, discussing stuff or, actually doing something. But in this chapter, I have no problem with it being mostly Boruto versus Code, because Boruto deserves to shine, and the stuff that's going on right now around Boruto and Code is pretty interesting to me. So, with the Ten Tails and all, so I'm pretty excited with what I've been seeing. So Boruto's pretty much, just surprised Code is standing, and then after that, some more spirals are sent at him to make him fall to the ground, and Boruto pretty much ends up telling him that the Uzuhiko is a Rasengan that's absorbed the rotation of the planet's chakra, and he says, think of it as like a strike back from the planet that you want to destroy. And he tells Code that it's pretty much never gonna disappear unless a, planet is about to perish, or it won't disappear like a planet never stopping rotation, because a planet's always, in constant rotation. So that's pretty much why this Rasengan is gonna keep on going forever, technically. And the damage for this will be semi-permanent, he says. And he tells him, like, the only way you're gonna get to really be relieved of it is if the planet stops, and that is one of Code's goals, to kind of just do what the Otsutsuki want and kind of just wreck the planet. So if he does that now, technically, he'll just end up killing himself because of this Rasengan, technically. And but Boruto does say again that if he takes him to the Ten Tails, that he can release the Uzuhiko Rasengan. Now my question over here is, where did he learn this? Who did he learn this from? What exactly did Boruto do during this time skip? Because this time skip power up for him is insane. I need answers. I really, really want them to explain this, because of course people are really, really hype right now, including me, seeing this stuff, but we're definitely going to need some good explanations for this. Of course, we know he's trained with Sasuke in the time skip, at least for some period of time, we would assume. And then after that, he could have still trained with Sasuke all the years. It just depends if he's alive or dead. And then later in the chapter, we also see that there's a Toad with him, so maybe he trained with Kashi and Koji. There's a few different ways, they could have gone about his training, and I feel like he took full advantage of it, which is nice. So pretty much after this whole, Boruto dominating Code fashion happens, Kawaki comes flying in to surprise attack towards Boruto, which Boruto dodges. Shikucho and Himawari show up. Himawari says Boruto, and that results in us seeing like a surprise expression from Boruto for the first time since Two Blue Vortex started. And of course, one of the reasons why is because he's seeing Himawari again, and he's seeing that she's safe, but it's also because, she's calling him Boruto rather than Big Brother like she normally would. So that's another thing to point out, but it's nice that they got a little moment to see each other again, because it's been so long. And Shikadai's out here, of course, interrogating Boruto, just like Shikamaru would do. It's in his nature. Shikadai's interrogating Boruto, asking why he's in Konoha and what he was discussing with Code, and Boruto basically just tells him to screw off by telling him not to interfere. And Code did try escaping once, but Kawaki stopped him with his eye using his dojutsu. We did get a little bit of a talk between Shikamaru contacting Kawaki, asking what's going on and telling him that he should kill Code if he is exhausted, because Kawaki does mention that. So I did like that, of course we got Shikamaru popping up in this chapter too, because he's the damn Hokage, so we need him making some appearances. So I'm glad, some people were still involved in this chapter, even though most of it was Boruto and Code centric. And Shikamaru pretty much tells Kawaki to kill Code, and Boruto ends up telling him to step away from Code. And Kawaki also tells Boruto that he hopes that he's ready to die soon too. And as they're talking, Code uses that as a distraction to summon a Claw Grime. Kawaki defeats that with ease, but Code ends up escaping. And Shikamaru's response to this is not panic. He just says to take care of the rest of the Claw Grimes so that Code cannot easily return, which is smart. Leave it to Shikamaru to come up, with some quick answers like that on his feet. So the others, Shikucho, Himawari get sent off to do that. Kawaki stays behind. We then get to see a little bit of Sarada, who realizes the Ten Tails is alive, but possibly weakened, because this whole tree engulfing thing isn't, sucking the shinobi's chakra in full. And that's pretty much all you really see for her. Just a little bit of dialogue among like 2 pages. We then cut back over to Kawaki, who, who's mentioning, this is great for us to know, so they haven't seen each other in 3 years. So there was no time skip encounter between them, in case anyone was wondering. And he did throw a funny little line in there talking about, hey Boruto, did you become Uchiha's adopted child? And I know he's saying that based off Boruto's looks, because he's, looking very similar to Sasuke right now. And Boruto just ignores that comment, and he just says he's relieved to see Kawaki hasn't changed, and he's happy Himawari seems fine too. Kawaki just says that, I'll kill you in your hometown if you wish. Boruto says back off and tells him not today. Kawaki pretty much responds by telling him that Boruto is the one in the way right now. As that, chat is happening, Kawaki doesn't realize this, but Boruto has like a toad hidden in his cloak, and he's whispering to Boruto that Code's back at his base and that the sneak-in was successful. So this just makes what Boruto is doing right now even more awesome for him as a character, like in terms of strength and just how smart he's become. He's talking with Kawaki, but in this whole meantime, he let Code deliberately escape so that he could track him. Since he knew, I guess he ended up, figuring out that Code isn't going to take him by will to the location. We then end up seeing Code going up to the Ten Tails, and we also see Bug, who's engulfed by a tree, who I don't know if he's dead or if he's just fainted, but he's unconscious at the least. And pretty much the wrap of the chapter, the Toad confirms the presence of the Ten Tails. Boruto just says good, and it seems like he's raising like a jutsu sign. I'm personally thinking he's going to reverse summon his way there or something like that, but he has the location now, and I'm sure he has some means of getting there. But overall, that's pretty much what happened throughout the chapter. I did of course I mentioned like parts I liked and disliked in there. I really didn't personally dislike anything in this chapter per se, unless I'm like nitpicking, and I'm not going to do that. But overall, I really enjoyed the pace of the chapter. I think the focus on Boruto versus Code was really, really nice overall. There were some amazing moments. Like the Rasengan Uzuhiko definitely lived up to the hype. I think it's very creative. I'm a big fan of the concept, and I did like that, it wasn't just Boruto versus Code the whole chapter. We did get to see Kawaki pull up to the scene, which is something I predicted would happen in my predictions video. We also got, Shikacho, the new ones, pulling up as well, and we got to see Himawari and Boruto see each other. That was cool, and we got a little bit of Shikamaru as well in the chapter. So, they made it as balanced as they could, I feel like, for, what the basis of the chapter was. And I just really like how the plot is progressing. We pretty much know from the chapter that Boruto can body Code, and now Boruto also knows the location of the Ten Tails. So big stuff that happened in this chapter. Honestly, great chapter, amazing chapter, probably my favorite chapter of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex so far. I'm gonna give it a 9.5 or a 10 out of 10. This is the highest I've given any of them. I think my favorite chapter before this was 1. I think I enjoyed chapter 1 more than 2, but 2 was pretty cool too. At least that's just me thinking back right now. But all the chapters have been at least good, if not better. So they're 3 for 3. But this one's my favorite one personally as of right now. Hopefully next month, they just keep it going and we keep getting better and better. But that's my general thoughts on the chapter. And I'd love to hear what you guys think too in the comments below. But that's going to wrap up this one. If you guys did enjoy the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you guys are new. And I hope you guys have a good day or night whenever you guys are watching this video. I'm Rewinds, and I'm out.